And with the news of Biden dropping out, Democratic Party offices and voters wait to see who their next candidate will be. Our local party chair already naming the best next fit. Aaron Garner spoke with the chair of the Democratic Party in Wichita County and on the matter. And Aaron, what did you find out?
Well, Dylan, the first thing I found out is that this is an unprecedented election cycle. Just last week, the nation saw an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump, and now Americans are witnessing the presumed Democratic candidate back out of the presidential race. And after speaking with the chair of the Democratic Party here in Wichita County, the message was don't panic. President Joe Biden's sudden move to drop out of the 2024 presidential race adds to an already hectic election cycle, with the country more divided than ever and the Democratic Party now without a candidate to face Republican nominee former President Donald Trump. The clock is ticking for the party to make a decision. Chelsea Streeter of the Wichita County Democratic Party sees a path for the current vice president to get the nomination for the upcoming cycle.
Our best bet as a party would be to nominate Kamala Harris. She's a woman, she's younger, and I think she's more progressive in a lot of ways than a lot of candidates would be.
One of the most important demographics in recent elections has been the youth vote. According to poll data from Politico, the youth vote in the 2020 election swung heavily in President Biden's favor over Donald Trump. But following the debate back in June, those poll numbers started to shift to former President Trump after Biden's performance. Streeter says a younger candidate from the Democratic Party might be enough to swing the demographic back in the Democratic Party's favor.
I think a lot of the youth were a little on the fence because Joe Biden is so old. But I think that the youth want someone a little more progressive, a little younger. And you're going to find with the age situation, Donald Trump hits that mark too.
Though Vice President Kamala Harris is the current popular pick to step in as the Democratic nominee, the Democratic Party faces a tight window to build a platform with the Democratic National Convention just weeks away.
So I think it's going to be a rush talking to the delegates beforehand, having calls beforehand, getting them to pick someone before then. And then I think it's going to be a rush to replace all of the campaign stuff with whoever the new candidate may be.
Regardless of who replaces President Biden on the Democratic ticket, Streeter implores local voters to not panic. President Biden plans to address the nation later this week after pulling out of the race, and we will work on getting a response from the Republican Party in the coming days.
All right, Aaron, let's see how this is all going to play out. A very interesting race indeed. Aaron, thank you so much.